To the home of conservative, not bitter talk. Yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. Here we are just a couple of days away from Election Day. And I voted yesterday. I don't know if you voted yet or not, but snuck in there really quickly, cast my ballot, had a little conversation with someone in there, and walked out that door. It was a good day. Good to check that off the list. It's an important election, and let's make sure that we and everyone we know get out there and vote for Trump, not for Kamala Harris. Did you see this? Biden's out there. I wasn't sure if I was going to play this, but I'm going to play this here off the top. Biden, good old Biden, out there telling people that he is Kamala Harris's running mate. Did you see this, Oz? Oz saw it. He's out there, and he says he's not kidding. He's not kidding. What's I guess interesting is, in my estimation, he is the number 2 on this ballot. I mean, they've been telling us for some time it's a Kamala Harris Biden ticket. In fact, when Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were complaining about the flyover during the NFL football game, and whoever it was down in Tampa, I don't know who they were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. The Buccaneers. That flyover happened, and they were complaining about the flyover and how that was a waste of your tax dollars and all that sort of thing. Aikman said, "You're not going to get that in the Kamala Biden ticket. Kamala Biden administration. Not going to have this nonsense. They're going to take care of all the nonsensical things in Washington, D.C., of course. Unfortunately, they will be the source of nonsensical things in Washington, D.C., as they always are, or in any other place that they are serving in office as well." But listen to this. Joe Biden down campaigning in Georgia, talking to the crowd. I can't see the crowd. It may be 14 people for all I know. Maybe it was a big turnout and there were maybe even triple digits. Maybe they hit 100 people at this one. I don't know. But listen to what Joe says. This is fantastic. I love this. Here we go.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I am Kamala's running mate. You all think I'm kidding, don't you?
No, we don't, actually.
Folks.
No, we don't think you're kidding, Joe. We think that that's absolutely what this ticket's about, and candidly, it's what concerns us. One of the things that concern us. But Biden's out there on the campaign trail. You know, they're having dueling rally. I don't know if you call Biden's events a rally or not. Would you call Biden's event a rally? I don't know. It's like a family reunion or like a picnic where people stay in their circles. I don't know what you would call these events, but nonetheless, Biden's out there last-minute campaigning as well. They're campaigning. He and Trump both campaigned yesterday in Florida, I think even in North Carolina. Trump has been the pace Trump has been on here. Trump is laying it all, leaving it all on the table here, laying it all on the line. He is crisscrossing this country. He is all over the place. He is making final appeals for your vote, for votes in key swing states. Undoubtedly, if you listen to Biden, I'm sure Biden will tell you that Trump is colluding with Russia, coming up with another plan. Undoubtedly, the part of the plan is to trap his son, Hunter Biden, in this mess that they've got that the media is ignoring. I know this thing with Bob Alinsky that Tucker Carlson has uncovered is quite remarkable. So here we go, final days of the election. Folks making their decisions. Did you see, too? I saw this yesterday or over the weekend. This was one of the most... A trend on Google was actually, can I change my vote? Can I change my vote? That was something that was trending here either over the weekend or earlier this week, which is fascinating because... if you think about the reasons given in the past week, the news cycle, the things that have happened and come up, anybody that wanted to change their vote would have almost certainly been searching that because of a vote that they had cast for Biden. And believe this or not, in some states you can actually change your vote. If you voted, I think absentee, there's steps. Some states you can do that in. But anyway, that's out there as well. We get this is going to be an interesting thing to watch on Tuesday, and we will be live, folks. Election night, Tuesday night, Freedom 95 Studios. We'll be streaming if you want to watch us online, on the website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We'll also be streaming or broadcasting on Freedom 95.9, and you get a chance. You get a chance if you want to actually be there with us. For those who take advantage of our conservative, not bitter early bird enrollment offer, for those of you who want to sign up for our courses, our 8-week course online, toddhuffshow.com/contest for more information. But basically, you get a $20 discount on the course, and you'll be entered into a drawing to spend the night with, or the evening in the studios with us as we bring in the election returns. Fun time. And that's yesterday I was talking about that, remembering 2016. So should be an exciting time, but you can be there with us if you go to toddhuffshow.com/contest, sign up, and you'll be entered into a drawing to spend that evening with us, me and the team at Freedom 95. So, but that ends on Sunday. Anyway, yesterday in Congress, in the Senate, Twitter, Facebook, all these social media folks were pulled in there because the Senate was grilling them over the issue of censorship, of silencing conservatives or free speech or news and information as Twitter has done. And I want to get to, as we get later into the program, this exchange between Twitter's CEO Jack Dorsey and Senator Ted Cruz from the great state of Texas. There was some back and forth there that I want to make sure that we get to. But before we do that, I actually had a conversation with Indiana candidate for governor, Libertarian Donald Rainwater. He and I spoke recently, and I want to share that conversation with you. I know many of you, this is one of the questions I think I'm asked most frequently, and that is, what do you think about Donald Rainwater? What do you should I vote for Donald Rainwater? Can he win? That sort of thing. I will say this, that of any third-party candidate in Indiana history for an office like governor, at least in modern history, and say my lifetime, your lifetime, this is by far and away, according to polling and according to other just the smell test, how Donald Rainwater does in these debates, how many signs you see for Rainwater across your community, across this area. And he has, in my estimation, the best chance. He still has an uphill battle to fight here, but I want you to listen to what he has to say, and I want you to ask yourself this question. I want you to ask yourself, if everyone who has the inklings or the inclination to vote for him would actually vote for him, what would the actual numbers look like? Right? Meaning if everybody who thought, I agree most with what this guy is saying on the stage, on the debate stage, I agree most with his positions. Of course, no politician is going to be 100% in agreement with every one of his or her voters and supporters, but I agree with this individual the most. If everyone who thought that actually cast the ballot, pushed the button for Donald Rainwater, what would this look like? How many people are casting their ballots for Holcomb because they're afraid that a ballot cast for Rainwater is a ballot that is not going to count, is actually going to give the Democrat a chance? But I want you to listen to this conversation after the break, and I want you to make that determination. For those of you who haven't voted, And just to be open to considering this. Like, again, yes, even in polling, the best poll showed that he was at 24%, folks, and that was a poll several months ago. But if he was at 24%, that is certainly within striking distance. Normally, libertarians will poll 2-3%, something like that. Maybe a big year might get them close to 5% in most parts of the country, in most offices. And I'm not knocking, don't misunderstand libertarians. What I am saying is that this is different. This is different. I've had the opportunity to have a couple of conversations with Donald Rainwater, and candidly have been really impressed and like him. And so I want you to listen to this after the break, this conversation I have with him, and make your decision as to if it's someone that if Hoosiers, every Hoosier who listened to him and thought, man, this guy makes a lot of sense, or man, I would like to see someone like this in office. If everyone made that decision who thought that, what would the numbers actually look like on Election Day? And then make your decision if you're willing to take that step. But time to take a break. So when we get back, I'm going to play this conversation with Mr. Rainwater. And by the way, I should say there's going to be additional content. So it's kind of a two-part interview. So some of it's going to be online. I don't have the time to play a really long conversation. I think we talked in total for 25 minutes or so. So the entire thing you can find on our website, and I'll make sure that Pedals gets that up just as soon as possible this morning. But you can see that on the homepage if you scroll down there's a section called Posts. There's In the News, and then there's Posts. If you're on your mobile device, scroll down, and you'll see the interview with Rainwater posted there a little bit later today if you want to hear the whole thing. But we'll play the first portion of it here after the break, so sit tight. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Corn Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corn Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and trained products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a train. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Welcome back. So I've got to jump right into this interview here just to give us time to hear the whole thing. It goes for, I think, about 15 minutes, so we're going to be a little bit long. I'm sorry, we're going to be long in this break, so don't get on me too bad. This is just the nature of this sometimes. So I want to share my conversation with you. And again, if you're just tuning in this morning, hearing my lovely voice on your way to work or whatever you're doing, we're having Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for the state, for governor for the state of Indiana. And I want you to ask yourself as you listen to Donald Rainwater, what would happen if everyone who is nodding in agreement with the things he is saying, his focus on liberty and the Constitution, everyone in this state who thought good things about him, who thought it's time for change, as one of our listeners on Facebook had just mentioned a moment ago, if everyone would simply cast a ballot for him who agreed with the ideas. They didn't, out of fear, cast the ballot for Holcomb or whatever. Just ask yourself what that would look like in the state of Indiana and how, if it's time to maybe to take that step and do that yourself. So here it is, conversation with Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for governor, state of Indiana. Hope you enjoy. Well, folks, we have been following the race here for governor in the state of Indiana for some time closely, and it is my pleasure to have on the program for a second time Donald Rainwater. He is the Libertarian candidate for governor of the great state of Indiana. Donald, thank you for joining our program. How are you today, sir?
Well, I'm doing great, Todd, and thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Well, we enjoy having you, and I watched that debate, or I listened to some. I didn't get to see all of it, but you did a great job as far as advancing the ideas of limited government. And I guess just give us your takeaways. What kind of feedback have you gotten? What did you learn from that? Just kind of tell us what's happening in the wake of that debate from Tuesday night.
Well, I think first of all, the first thing that I have learned from the feedback is that we have a tremendous amount of support, and that the narrative being pushed that we are a distant third can't be more incorrect, because I've never seen an incumbent spend more time responding to a libertarian in a debate than what I saw Tuesday night. And that is exactly what people have been telling me, is that they were amazed at the amount of time that the governor took to respond to comments that I made, which means that they are well aware that Hoosiers are responding to our message, and it concerns them.
Well, you've clearly made an impact in this race. I see the rainwater for governor signs. I have people asking me out of all the things I get asked, I would say right now, questions about Donald Rainwater, the governor's race, are probably at the top of what I'm hearing from our listeners. So, just really quickly, I want to say my summation of what I saw Tuesday night at the debate. Now, I want to be clear to the listeners and to you too, Mr. Rainwater. I have a great deal of respect for you and what you've been doing. So, the worst scenario for Indiana is Governor Woody Myers. But as I listened to you on the debate stage Tuesday night, I mean, I there were times I thought you were auditioning to be a fill-in host for our show because it sounded, I mean, it's exactly what I think needs to be said. Limited government, freedom, the Constitution, and you went back to that time and time and time again. So we had the radical left, I think, on one side. We had you talking about constitutional principles, and Holcomb, and he's a good guy. I really don't have any, personal problems here, but just there's so much political speech and not enough authentic limited government constitutional talk. I guess speak to that and maybe the differences between you and Holcomb from that perspective.
Well, I think if you really boil it down, the fundamental difference is that I actually believe in limited government, and I believe that Hoosiers are better off being able to control their own destiny. And I believe that, to be very frank, and I believe that Governor Holcomb is part of an establishment of corporatism that is always more than willing to sell out Hoosiers for their corporate connections. And I believe that shows in how he has governed over the last 4 years. I think it also shows very clearly when he touts all the new jobs he's bringing to Indiana, and then in the next breath talks about the fact that we have over 100,000 jobs that he's brought to Indiana that are unfilled because Hoosiers aren't trained to fill them. How does that help the Hoosiers that are unemployed? And to be honest, he touts a next level jobs program that if you really go look at it, it is Bernie Sanders College for All light, which means it's very socialist in its implementation. And so I think the more you drill down and look at how he's governed and what his policies are, you see that he's not small government and that he really doesn't worry about or govern as what's best for individual Hoosiers. As a matter of fact, if you look at just yesterday, his reactionary activities to the rise in infections, COVID infections in nursing homes, we've known that 60%, close to 60% of the deaths from COVID-related illness were in nursing homes since April. But he's just now getting his administration to, here again, react instead of being proactive to making sure that we're focusing on the nursing homes instead of, general authoritarian orders that really haven't protected the most vulnerable. So it just, I think it's just very clear that it's not what he says, it's how he governs that counts.
So I think a lot of people are nodding in agreement. A lot of people are attracted to what they've heard you say on this program during the debates, whatever. And I think they are, I get this question constantly, basically, Todd is a vote for Donald Rainwater. And I want you to address this.
Sure.
Right? is a vote for Donald Rainwater creating the worst case scenario, which is Governor Woody Myers versus can Donald Rainwater really win? I mean, we've seen polling. There's one poll that had you at 24% within striking distance of Holcomb, and that is unheard of in third-party politics in the state of Indiana, at least in my lifetime. So I guess talk to that. What would you say to that listener? I think that there's literally quite a few people who haven't voted yet who have that question. And
Sure.
if you can give them a good answer, I think that, sir, that they might cast a ballot for you.
Well, so there are a couple of elements of that I think are relevant and that we should talk about. And here again, I hope that your listeners know by now that I'm not scripted. I'm just going to tell it like it is, and the chips fall where they may. So first of all, a vote for me isn't a vote for Woody Myers because it's a vote for me. And if you're worried about voting for what you believe and that your conscience tells you is right, and that you are being told to be scared and fearful that if you vote your conscience, that the worst possible thing could happen. Step back and think about that for a minute. Why would somebody try to convince you that doing the right thing is wrong or will turn out wrong? It's because they have a vested interest. They have an agenda, and they are trying to push their agenda because they know that their candidate is as wrong as what they're trying to keep you from doing. See, they're not trying to convince you why Eric Holcomb should get your vote. They're trying to convince you that if you vote the way your conscience dictates, the worst possible thing can happen. And the reality is that the vote for Holcomb is the one that will return the worst possible scenario, because the reality is, if you look at how he has governed, he is basically the same person that Woody Myers is. The only difference is Woody Myers is willing to tell you who he is. Holcomb wants to tell you he's one thing and then govern as another. So to me, what you have to do is you have to look past the rhetoric, past the fear, and you have to look at what do I believe is right, and you have to remember that the one science that is immutable is mathematics. And if I get more votes than the other two guys, Hoosiers win. And if that doesn't happen, either way, Hoosiers lose.
So do you, is it your contention that if everyone who has that question I just asked, or a version of that question, which is, man, this Donald Rainwater guy really is saying a lot of stuff that I believe in, but man, I'm afraid that voting for him is going to open the door for the Democrat, and we'll be, locked down in COVID, and we'll be mandatory masks, and we'll be paying fines and going to jail and all this sort of stuff. Is it your belief that there's enough people who are having that internal monologue in their head that could put Donald Rainwater over the top in this election?
Absolutely. And I think there's physical evidence to corroborate that. If you look at the responses to informal news polls on television stations and on social media after the debate, it was clear that the vast majority of people thought that I won the debate and were supportive of my ideas. I don't see anywhere near the Holcomb or Myers yard signs. I have supporters who have spent thousands of the dollars of their own money to put up billboards all over the state of Indiana. I don't see billboards for the other two gentlemen. I believe that we have a tremendous amount of support. I am been privately contacted by numerous members of the Indiana General Assembly, not just Tim Lucas, who publicly endorsed me, but a good number of other individuals who have come out and told me, we're behind you, we support you. We obviously can't come out publicly right now because of the backlash from the Republican Party. I have the support of both traditionally Republican and Democrat voters who believe in what our message is. And I believe that if people will just step back and not listen to all the white noise that is propagated by people who are desperately clinging to the status quo, that they'll see that, you know what, there's something going on in Indiana, and if we get behind it, it will happen.
Well, Mr. Rainwater, I need to take a break here, but I want to, so we're going to continue this conversation on our digital sources on the website and so forth. So I'm going to ask you some specific questions. In fact, I had some folks share some thoughts about some questions that they wanted your position and so forth on. So we'll do that here and take a quick time out. But I want to say this, and I want our audience to hear this, though. This is something, we've had a couple conversations here over the past few months. You are, it's funny when I interview politicians, there's a whole variety of different types of feelings that I get. Sometimes there's even third parties that schedule me and patch me in and all that sort of stuff. But, you are a genuinely down to earth, just straightforward, genuinely nice guy. And I just, I wanted our listeners to hear that as well, because it is refreshing, sir, to have conversations like this. And I appreciate what you've been saying in this campaign, and I appreciate you taking time here, and we'll continue this after the break.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that.
Well, I appreciate it too. We're going to take a time out, continue our conversation with Donald Rainwater. He's the Libertarian candidate for governor of the great state of Indiana. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. Back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Hi, I'm Daniel Elliott, Chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com. Welcome back. So what do you think? I know Oz is already telling you. I'm so far off the time schedule today because of that long segment, that long interview with Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for governor here in Indiana. But what do you think? What do you think? You can share your thoughts on our Facebook page. I need to get better at that. But you can always go to our Facebook page. This program streams live there. You can share your thoughts. You can email me. In fact, usually off the top of this program, I tell you can email me your thoughts, questions, and yes, even your adoration and praise will be accepted as well. Todd at toddhuffshow.com. But what do you think about this? I mean, what does he make a compelling argument? You know, at some point, folks, and I get it. The worst scenario for Indiana is a Governor Woody Myers, but the best scenario is a governor who actually is out there openly, actively driving home the ideas and concepts of liberty and the Constitution, not just managing government like a. I got to be careful here. I don't have any personal qualms, but with Holcomb, but you know this idea that we have two sides, two parties that are expanding government, and not across the board, but there's especially high-ranking. Say governors or people in D.C. that get elected as senators and so forth. A lot of these folks, it often doesn't matter the party. One is government on government growth on overdrive. The other is government growth light, and neither one of those are good. Clearly, one is better than the other, and there are clearly, especially locally, and occasionally on the national, those who would be going to D.C., some folks who actually want to, return to limited government as well. But, we have to make that decision. And again, my question is, if everyone who felt something compelling about the case that Donald Rainwater is making, if everyone who felt connected to that or that this is the right thing, the right candidate, the candidate that's going to move us back towards true constitutional government with liberty and freedom and all these sorts of things that are good for our society, good for the human heart, good for life. If that is, in fact, if everyone who thought that cast a ballot in that direction, what would it actually look like? And does that have an impact on your vote? By the way, I want to say this too. Donald Rainwater has been a paid advertiser for this program for some time. Now, the way I look at that is always, look, you get an opportunity during your airtime to make your case. In fact, I've not talked a lot about this. So anything I've said, and I sometimes it's difficult, folks, I'll be honest with you, but you've got someone who's, I've never had any pressure, but we don't really, you won't hear me endorse. You won't hear me endorse a lot of candidates. When we get to the general election, it's pretty obvious, but I'll of course generally do that. But these are your decisions. I hope to be able to share my thoughts, and if I think there's something important to consider, I will certainly say that, as I think I have. But I can tell you that whatever those are different things for me. I look at this election, and of course there are. I understand the concerns. We don't want a Governor Woody Myers. You think about mask mandates and all the stuff that would have happened, shutdowns and all this. But I will tell you this: Indiana has a strong majority in both the House and the Senate of Republicans, so that could have been that's kind of if you're hesitant in casting a ballot for Rainwater because you don't want to give a liberal or a liberal Democrat governor an opportunity to be the governor of the state of Indiana. I can say that those checkpoints will help limit whatever damage a liberal can do as governor. But it's still a real concern. I understand that. I just do. I do think that the things he's saying need to be said more often. I wish I heard them from Governor Holcomb specifically as well. I don't hear those as often, nearly as often, or as adamantly as I hear those things coming from Donald Rainwater. Fundamentally constitutional issues and the bedrock principles upon which this nation was founded and was made great. So, got to take a time out. Long on this segment. All messed up on the time clock. It's not Oz's fault. It is mine. Quick time out. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Are you one of the growing number of Hoosiers who are concerned about higher taxes, increased spending, and massive debt? So am I. I'm Donald Rainwater, the Libertarian candidate for governor of the state of Indiana. I believe that all Hoosier businesses provide the necessities of life to their owners and employees, and that all Hoosiers are essential. As your governor, I will safeguard your rights to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness as defined by you, not the government. To learn more, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. We need better government, not bigger government. My name's Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message. Paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and
electrical done right. Come, Mr. Quick.
Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the word. For on time.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
All right, welcome back. So, I had mentioned earlier on in today's program this back and forth between Ted Cruz and Jack Dorsey. I'm not going to be able to play as much of it as I would like. In fact, I'm barely going to be able to play any of it because I've gotten long-winded, and I knew that the interview with Rainwater was going to run a little bit longer just because of the format, and I wanted to get as much of that in there as possible. By the way, you can hear more of his interview by going to our website, toddhuffshow.com. I got to get Pedals to update the site with the complete interview, but we'll do that here a little bit later this morning. Here is a little bit. I don't have much time. This is remarkable. Ted Cruz questioning Jack Dorsey yesterday about Twitter's ability to influence elections. Remember, as you listen to Jack Dorsey's response, which, by the way, Jack Dorsey looked like he just rolled out of the rack or something, or was on a 3-week outback cross-country hiking trip or something. But this is remarkable. The entire 2016 campaign was predicated upon the idea that social media is a place where elections can be influenced, right? Of course they can be. Here you go. Listen to this exchange.
Mr. Dorsey, does Twitter have the ability to influence elections?
No.
You don't believe Twitter has any ability to influence elections?
No, we are one part of a broad spectrum of communication channels that people have.
So you're testifying to this committee right now that Twitter, when it silences people, when it censors people, when it blocks political speech, that has no impact on elections?
People have choice of other communication channels with which...
Not if they don't hear information. If you don't think you have the power to influence elections, why do you block anything?
I'm going to pause it there. I'm running out of time, but that is a fantastic question for Jack Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey, Jack, fresh off your cross-country hike or whatever's going on there. Good morning as you rolled out of the rack. He looks a little disheveled. I just got to be honest. But Jack, what is, if Twitter cannot influence elections, then why are you determining what people can and can't see? I mean, what did we just go through 4 years about? What was this all about? It's just it's remarkable to hear this. It is remarkable to hear this. There are committed leftists. It doesn't matter. Whatever the answer is that fits the narrative at the moment, they're prepared to say it with a straight face. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Just out of time here today. One more time out, come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Folks, I got to wrap up here really quickly, but I want to say one thing. I don't want you to misunderstand me. I think that voting a straight Republican ticket in 2020 is a very logical decision, a very logical choice. And I know many of you have done that or will be doing that. But let me say this. If we're presented with a better choice for governor, I think we should at least consider making that choice, regardless of what the party is. Libertarian in this case with Donald Rainwater. In fact, I'll add to this. If we're ever going to truly win this state and this country back over to constitutional conservatism and limited government and things that are in our founding principles, we're going to have to make tough decisions at some points. Our founders had to, we're going to have to as well. So anyway, just hope you take those things into consideration as you look to vote here between now and Election Day. Thanks for listening. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegieAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegie, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegieAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegie, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegie and Freegie Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Hi, I'm Daniel Elliott, chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. We need your vote down the ballot for conservatives like Indiana Senator Rod Bray from District 37 and Morgan County Coroner Mike Ellis. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.